Hello everyone and welcome to City Update. I'm Chuck Emmerich. We're here on the campus of Kenilworth Elementary in Central Phoenix. It's a beautiful school right downtown, and like all schools around the valley right now, they're back in session. That means an increase in pedestrian and vehicular traffic around the schools. Now, students are our most important resource, and it's up to all of us to keep them safe. I'm here with an expert today on school safety, Officer James Holmes from the Phoenix Police Department. Thanks for joining me today. We were just talking before the show today. School safety starts even before a child leaves the house.
You know, Chuck, you're absolutely right. And first of all, when we talk about school safety and we're talking about at home, we're talking about a conversation that needs to happen between the parents and the student. We're talking about if they walk to school, safety while walking to school, even if they take the bus, safety getting on the bus. We talk about crosswalks. We talk about making sure you don't cross mid-block. And these conversations have to happen at home before the child ever leaves to start going to school.
They're looking for their parents for guidance on this type of thing.
Absolutely. And you know, the kids really do want to know. If you start that conversation and you talk about some of the things that could or might happen while that child is on their way to school or on the way home, the kids are going to pick up on that and they're going to remember it because it's coming from the parent. And you have to remember, that's the person that they trust the most.
Now, everybody has a cell phone nowadays, students included. That can be good and a bad thing for student safety.
I am really afraid about technology these days, Chuck. I'm going to tell you, kids, even at this age, they do have cell phones, they have iPads, they have all of those things that even if not today, in their future, they're going to need. One of the best things about cell phones, however, is if they're out there and they run into a stranger danger situation, then the parents have talked to them about dialing 911 or calling the parent to make sure they get help if they see something that's bothering them. And it's great. The problem is, you know, they get those cell phones out and they're walking to school or they're going and they start playing games or they're texting and having conversations with their friends and they're not really paying attention to what's going on around them. That's scary for traffic situations as well as the stranger danger that we were talking about.
So it becomes a situational awareness thing when you're too dialed into your phone.
Absolutely. You have got to pay attention to what's going on. That's for adults and everybody. You have to pay attention to what's going on around you when you're out and you're walking on the sidewalks, going to school or whatever it is that you're doing.
Well, speaking of paying attention to what's going on, we have a student with us today. Lily is our friend here. She's a fifth grader here at Kenilworth Elementary. Lily, you go to school every single day. What do you do to stay safe going to and from school?
Well, I make sure the crosswalk ladies are walking with me to school and walking back. I look both ways for cars are going, and I watch my surroundings.
That's great advice, Lydia. Do you have other students here at school? Do you see the same kind of things, or what do you see when you're going back and forth to school?
I do see the same things, but nothing bad.
Good, that's good to hear. Well, Officer Holmes, this is all great advice. Is there anything else that parents should know, or drivers, pedestrians, about school safety?
I've got a huge caution for our parents and our citizens that are going to pass through school zones. Especially, you look here at Kenilworth, this is right on Fifth Ave that heads right downtown at the time of the morning when we're all trying to get to work. It is ever so important that we remember that there are students in the area. And some of the ages of these students don't guarantee that they're going to cross at the crosswalk with the crossing guard. They may be late. They may not be paying attention. They may dart out right into the middle of the street. When that sign says 15 miles an hour, bring it down to 15 miles an hour and pay very, very close attention to the kids that are moving around in the area. And that is during school hours, period, not just in the morning and in the afternoon. That is all day long. We have to be very careful. As you said, our children are our most important resource, and we want to keep them healthy and we want to keep them safe.
And we know Phoenix PD is going to be watching. We've got a couple motor officers in the background here. That's their job.
That is their job, and we are saturating school zones as much as our manpower will allow, especially at the beginning of the school year, but we do it all the time. We've got photo radar cameras that are going to be out in the school zones. And our goal here is not to write tickets and issue citations and inconvenience people's lives. Our goal here is to educate so that nothing does happen. Because once we have a tragedy, once we have an accident, it's way too late.
True. Well, it's all of our responsibility for school safety with school back in session. So be aware when you're driving, be aware when you're dropping your kids off both in the morning and the afternoon, and plan ahead. For City Update, I'm Chuck Emmerich.